take the tomato, I'm going to quarter the tomato. I'm going to take each quarter, and we're going to cut along the flesh part, and we cut all that inside out. We don't want to have any of the seeds in there. Lay it flat. If you have any. Now we have nothing but the flesh of the tomato. That's what we're going to cut into nice cubes. Just follow the contour. All we have here is some seeds. Beautiful. Large chunk of liquid, a lot of seeds, just flatten the tomato out a bit and gently cut that off. Scrape it off a bit with your knife. Now we have beautiful tomato. I'll take the tomato, put it upside down, dice it into small dice. Bacon is doing just fine. You don't want to have any of the seeds of the tomato in that sauce. Everything looks fairly nice and even. Beautiful. Now we have the tomatoes ready, the mushrooms and the shallots. The bacon is going already. Everything is working just fine. Stir the bacon up just a bit more. I want to cook it just a wee bit longer. I don't want to have it really crisp like for, you see it sometimes on salads where the bacon is really dark and crunchy. We don't want it that way. We want to have a little meatiness to the bacon. Okay, now, in the meantime, I'm going to take some chicken breasts. We have some beautiful chicken breasts here, with the wing bone still on there. And before we start to season the chicken breast, we want to make sure that the chicken breast is dry. We want to make sure it's nice and dry. We don't want to have a lot of moisture in the breast. The reason for that is so your chicken breast, once you put it in the oil, has less of a chance of sticking. It doesn't stick to the pan. Now when we season it, all we do is salt, a little pepper. Be careful with white pepper. If you put too much on it, you can't get rid of that taste. A little bit of salt again. A little bit of white pepper. Okay. Chicken breasts are ready. Everything is falling into place. Okay. Get rid of this one. We got our saute pan. We got our pan with the sauce. When we get ready to saute the chickens, what I like to do, I like to heat up the pan just a little bit. When the pan is warm and I put the oil in it, the oil expands a lot quicker when the pan is warm and you don't put as much oil in there. A lot of times you see people have too much oil in a pan and you more fry the chicken than sauteing. So I'm just preheating the pan a bit. In the meantime, I think my bacon is about ready. I'm going to add the shallots to it now. Okay. And once we have the shallots in there, We don't need any oil or any fat now because we got the fat from the bacon in here. Just, again, on low heat, just gently saute it. Okay. You want to stir it pretty frequently. So the shallots, you don't want the shallots to turn brown at all. Now with the oil for the saute pan there, we're going to start putting some oil in here. Almost perfect. And I'm going to bring the heat up a little bit, almost till the oil starts to ripple. You see a little ripple in there. That's when you know that your oil is hot enough to put your chicken on. One thing you also don't want to do is, while your oil is heating up, don't have the flame all the way up like that because your pan will burn on the outside and it doesn't really have a big of an impact at all. All it does is burn your oil catches on fire and it makes somewhat of a mess. Now here with the sauce, we're going to add the mushrooms next. And again, we keep stirring. Just kind of saute a bit more. Just going to add a little bit of fat to it and a little bit on the light side. Depending on the bacon, you might have to add a little bit more oil or a little bit of butter when you add the mushrooms. And again, don't forget to keep stirring while you do that. Little secret that I do when I saute mushrooms, I just put a little bit of salt in the mushrooms. I don't really season them, just add a little bit of salt. It gives the mushrooms that much more flavor later on. Make sure your shallots don't burn. This is really a critical point right about here. Next thing what goes into this sauce is some white wine. We're going to add about 4 ounces of wine in here. Ooh, can you smell it? And we're going to reduce this wine about by half. So when it's half, you have to take a guess and kind of check out how much you have in at the beginning and then just slowly reduce it down to about half its volume. Okay. We don't have to worry about the mushrooms too much right now. We're going to get going on the chickens.